Hello, and welcome to the Quality Control staff presentation that addresses the engagement performance component of the firm's QC system. My name is Lynette Kleindenst, and I'm an assistant in the PCAOB's Office of the Chief Auditor. Today's staff presentation is one in a series of staff presentations that address the requirements of QC 1000, the PCAOB's new standard on quality control that will take effect on December 15th, 2025. Given the intent of this staff presentation is to focus on only one of the components of the firm's QC system, we will not be discussing all of the nuances of the standard and related amendments. Therefore, I encourage participants to read the adopting release in order to gain a more complete understanding of the new standard and related amendments, and explore the other implementation resources that have been issued to date, including a staff presentation and staff guidance document that provide an in-depth overview of QC 1000 and guidance for firms about how to comply with the standard. All of this can be found on the PCAOB's website. Before we get started, I'll state our standard disclaimer. The views expressed are offered in my capacity as staff of the PCAOB's Office of the Chief Auditor, but they are my own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the board as a whole, any individual board members, or other PCAOB staff. In our staff presentation on the firm's system of quality control and overview of QC 1000, we briefly covered 8 integrated components of the firm's QC system that are required to be included in a firm's design of its QC system. These components are consistent with other quality management standards and are presented on the slide. Today, we will be focusing on the engagement performance component, the component circled on the chart in red. This component addresses the firm's processes relating to the performance of the firm's engagements in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements. Applicable professional and legal requirements is a defined term in paragraph A2 in Appendix A to QC 1000. Engagement performance encompasses the activities of firm personnel and other participants in all phases of the design and execution of the engagement. This includes planning, performing, supervising, and documenting the engagement, conducting an engagement quality review, and making communications regarding the engagement. The quality objectives a firm establishes related to the engagement performance component of its QC system are applicable to the work performed both on a firm's own engagements and on other firms' engagements. These quality objectives cover the following areas: engagement responsibilities, consultations and differences in professional judgment, and engagement documentation. The engagement performance component does not include any specified quality responses. Before we dive into the quality objectives for this component, I would like to remind everyone that the quality objectives we discussed today are required to be established by the firm. QC 1000 specifies required quality objectives for each of the 6 components to which the risk assessment process applies. Quality objectives are a defined term in Appendix A of QC 1000. They are defined as the desired outcomes in relation to the components of the QC system to be achieved by the firm. The first quality objective in the engagement performance component relates to responsibilities being understood and fulfilled by firm personnel and other participants in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements. A subset of this quality objective is that the engagement partner, who is responsible under auditing standards for the engagement and its performance, understand and fulfill these responsibilities. This includes managing and achieving consistent compliance with applicable professional and legal requirements on the engagement. This quality objective focuses firms on partner involvement throughout the engagement, including appropriately supervising firm personnel and other participants. The definition of engagement under QC 1000, which includes substantial role work, does not change the meaning of engagement partner or affect the responsibilities of individuals involved in substantial role engagements. As a reminder, about the firm's use of other participants. Over the years, audits of issuers have increasingly involved the use of entities and individuals outside the firm in performing audit procedures and evaluating audit evidence. In the context of amending the standards governing the involvement of other auditors in an audit, we discussed the increasing prevalence and importance of the use of other audit firms and individual accountants outside the firm, such as an EQR not employed by the firm, and the use of auditor-engaged specialist. While it may be beneficial, and in many cases essential, to use other participants in some engagements, these arrangements can pose risks because other participants may not be subject to the same quality controls as firm personnel. For example, with regard to personnel assignments, training, supervision, and monitoring. With respect to work performed in connection with the firm's QC system or the performance of its engagements, QC 1000 defines other participants as accounting firms, foreign or domestic, registered or unregistered, accountants, and other professionals or organizations other than firm personnel whose responsibilities include assisting with the performance of the firm's engagements or the design, implementation, or operation of the firm's QC system, including engagement quality reviews. We recognize that some other participants may be covered by their own firm's quality control system, and that fact may inform the firm's risk assessment with respect to their participation in the firm's engagements. But the firm's own QC system must address all the work done on the firm's engagements and in connection with the design, implementation, and operation of the firm's QC system itself, regardless of who does it. Some examples of other participants include other auditors and specialists engaged by the firm. The next quality objective also relates to responsibilities being understood and fulfilled by firm personnel and other participants in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements, and includes responsibilities for planning and performing the engagement. This includes exercising due professional care and supervision. Lastly, the quality objective in the engagement performance component relating to responsibilities being understood and fulfilled by firm personnel and other participants in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements includes responsibilities for reporting and other communications with respect to the engagement. PCAOB standards and rules impose a number of requirements relating to reporting and communicating the results of the engagement. The engagement report and communications to the audit committee are typically prepared at the engagement level and may include information provided by the firm. For example, the firm may provide information related to independence to be communicated in accordance with PCAOB Rule 3524 or PCAOB Rule 3526. The next quality objective addresses consultations. Consultations are an important aspect of engagement performance as they provide a mechanism to discuss and resolve complex, unusual, or unfamiliar matters with qualified individuals. A qualified individual is someone who has the requisite knowledge, skill, and ability. The quality objective should drive firms to continue to focus on the importance of consultation and resolution before the issuance of an engagement report. The conclusions from the consultation should be agreed to by the engagement partner and the parties consulted. If a difference of professional judgment is identified, it should be addressed in accordance with the quality objective I will discuss on the next slide. Additionally, the conclusion should be in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements and implemented before the issuance of the engagement report. Consultations can be undertaken with qualified individuals from within or outside the firm. For example, a smaller and less complex firm may need to hire an external consultant to assist with an unfamiliar matter. In another example, a larger or more complex firm that is part of a network may have policies requiring consultation with qualified individuals that perform such a function at a regional or national level. The next quality objective addresses differences in professional judgment, which may occur when there is a concern or disagreement regarding the application of applicable professional and legal requirements during the performance of the engagement. This quality objective underscores the importance of having and adhering to appropriate procedures for the resolution of differences in professional judgment during the performance of engagements, such that the firm personnel, and other participants comply with applicable professional and legal requirements. The last quality objective within the engagement performance component is that the engagement documentation is prepared, reviewed, assembled, and retained in accordance with applicable professional and legal requirements. AS 1215, titled Audit Documentation, contains the general requirements for the documentation the auditor should prepare and retain in connection with executing engagements. Regulation SX Rule 2-06 also addresses documentation retention requirements. The quality objective is meant to drive firms to focus on compliance with these requirements. The requirements of Appendix K, SEC Practice Section, or known as the SECPS, member firms with foreign associated firms that audit SEC registrants, were eliminated as part of the adoption of QC 1000. As a reminder, the SEC Practice Section was a division of the AICPA for U.S. firms that audited public companies, and it established incremental quality control requirements for its members. The SECPS member requirements originally applied to all U.S. firms that audited public companies under AICPA standards. The SECPS ceased to exist following the establishment of the PCAOB in 2002. But certain SECPS requirements still apply to firms that were members of the SECPS as of April 16, 2003, including the requirements of Appendix K, titled SECPS member firms with foreign associated firms that audit SEC registrants. Please see the QC implementation guidance for more information on how the previous Appendix K requirements are contemplated as part of the firm system of QC under QC 1000. Before we wrap up today's staff presentation, I just wanted to remind everyone of our QC implementation webpage located on the PCAOB's website. We continue to update it as we develop additional implementation resources. These include a staff presentation of an overview of QC 1000, as well as staff guidance documents covering aspects of QC 1000 and the related amendments to AS 2901. The QC implementation webpage also includes a phone number and form for contacting the PCAOB regarding standards-related inquiries. If you subscribe to PCAOB News, you will receive a notification when the page is updated with new resources. For more information on the standard and related amendments, please see PCAOB Release Number 2024-005 on the PCAOB's website. Thank you for listening and have a great day.